Good evening and welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway Show. Hope you're all keeping well and, of course, happy St. Patrick's Day. And as always, I've got my esteemed panellists with me in that. So I'll let you introduce first of all to Jez. How are we doing, Jez?
All good, mate. All good. Yeah. Enjoyed a very good game of football this afternoon, whatever. The Man United Liverpool game, brilliant bit for neutral. It was fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And unfortunately, it's Man United, isn't it?
I mean, obviously, just going to congratulate you and Yeti doing a weekend of football and that. You know, well done to the pair of you for doing that as well. So that was quite entertaining.
In fairness, mate, the Yeti did. I mean, I couldn't do all of it. I was going to do. I've totally forgotten. I had to go and watch my grandson play football midday today. I'm not sure I actually called it football when he got a goalkeeper that end, and 20 kids in the centre circle, 29-year-olds, oh dear, yeah. I'm not really sure their coaches actually really know about football, but they're only 9, so
all like lemons following the ball. Hopefully a bit more than that. Evening, Budgie. How yourself, sir?
I'm all right, thank you very much, and good evening to the rest of the gentlemen on the panel. Actually, Jez, you can still class that as still part of the weekend of football, can't you? I mean, you've still gone to a football game.
Yeah.
So pick yourself up, mate. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Hence the green light on the boom, just in on
cool.
The Irish in the room. And well, it's been quite a fine weekend of football. Like Jez said, that Man United and Liverpool game, haven't seen it yet, but from what I've heard, it was a very exciting game of football. As was it today.
We'll come back to those games anyway. So let's just say hello to the people in the chat. So obviously, Basil Brush, sodding VAR cost us a winter day. It definitely did. There's no two ways about it. And big up to Daniel E. He's saying that cheers for doing Spurs a favour today. Spurs got cooked on Saturday as they did. Appreciate you bailing us out. We've got usual people saying hello. King Mikkel. Phil Mitchell, don't mess with the hammers. Good evening to Mama Flossie. Hope you're keeping well. And also saying hello to Lenny Moon, big up brothers. And welcome to Henry Guna as well. Good seeing you, matey. Hope you're keeping well. There's a brush with the bubbles, the usual suspects. And of course, our good friend from Lexington, Kentucky, USA, Lawrence Watkins. How we doing? Hope you're keeping well. Anthony, how you been this weekend?
I haven't been too bad. Not too bad. Been chilling. Been watching a decent game of football. I mean, obviously, FA Cups on ITV. I watched the Wolves at Coventry game. That was a good game. And obviously, Fuzz's team he supports, Man United and Liverpool. That was a hell of a game that was. So, I can't wait to get in, and talk about those. And that's it, really. I've had it all off. I've had all these Sky Sports and TNT Sports. Got rid of the bloody lot. So that's it. So I'm gonna have to start looking what you guys do. Look up some stuff or whatever on football games.
Should be good on that. Hello to Jez as a prick. Klopp is coaching staff at LFC a bunch of pricks to let United win like that.
Big up, Jez, you prick.
Facts.
We've got Atletico Madrid, Barcelona is on ITV4 this evening. If anyone wants to keep an eye on that match whilst we enjoy this show. Yes, of course. Keep us up informed with that end and Guna while you can as well, please, mate. And of course, the Cheshire Cat that's in between me and Jez. How are we, Fuzzy?
Wembley. We're the best Man United, and we're going to Wembley. Yeah. We are feasting well tonight. Got my chocolate milk on one side. Yeah, Anthony's already had enough. He's heading out. Got cookies on the other side. We're doing well, man. We're doing well. God, I'm kitted out. I'm kitted out for tonight's show, and still running on the high of emotions. You beat your nearest and dearest rivals, as far as history is concerned, and do it in the last minute of the game, last kick. And from how it all sort of stemmed as well. I mean, from our own box, essentially, Harvey Elliott, the guy that was pictured as potentially scoring the winning goal for Liverpool to take them through to the semi-finals, then it all goes opposite. It all goes... There are no words to describe it. Absolutely no words to describe it. So I am absolutely living the high life at the moment. High on life, high on joy, high on Manchester United, back to Wembley again. And it's proper stuff. So yeah, I'm doing good. And big ups to everybody else on the panel as well, and everybody in chat. And great weekend. And now it's international break as well, so I don't have to stress about United for at least a little bit of time. Back and start the panic all over again. So,
let's start off with the
gloating like this.
I know, Budge. I mean, well, he's got every moment, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's got to have one every season, I suppose. Can't deny him that.
Exactly.
No, fair play to United, though. From what I hear, they fought like Trojans, mate. So good luck to them. Hope they win it all. Hope they win it now.
Yeah. I mean, as Basil Brush said, the Rashford should have won it at 90 minutes. Yeah, how close that was. Glad Anthony made it. Heard he was on a tractor, ran out of fuel.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get some petrol for that.
And big up to the legend himself, Long in Yeti's Cave and that. Yeah, as I say, this man, if you haven't seen it, try and catch up on his shows over the weekend. He did a marathon fest of watch-alongs with Jez and mainly with himself. So you get the opportunity, go and watch this fella and make sure.
God damn it, Yeti.
And
I love that.
Big up the eyebrows.
Yeah,
as always.
Great. I want to say hello to Sharky, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, big
I
up to
noticed
Sharky as
he's
well.
in the chat, so yeah.
Yeah, seen him in there, so that's good.
And to Lawrence, obviously.
And obviously, Quidditch United, they didn't know when to quit and kept fighting, which they did.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, instead at the weekend, has to be Coventry beating Wolves in stoppage time with 2-1 down. Yeah, what a game that was.
Yeah.
Oof.
Wolves are missing a few decent players, though, so they're quite vulnerable at the moment. They ain't got Dawson for a start. He's out, isn't he?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So they do leak goals without Dawson in there.
Yeah, we do miss that man, I must admit.
God, don't we?
Oh, Lawrence is saying, yeah. Budgie
seems to be stepping up.
Yeah. He's saying, cheering for Man United is like selling your soul to the devil.
Well, I'm not cheering for them at all. I just said fair play to them. And because we're not in it, I hope they go and win it. I don't want another London club to go and win it. No disrespects to anybody on the panel or in the chat. But, I'd rather it than another London club.
It's true. Yeah, see, Coventry got the best draw with United in the semi. Yeah.
Definitely.
Brilliant. That'd be a good one. Coventry have been playing some decent football recently.
They have been. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they made a Premier League promotion charge last season in their league campaign. Got to I think it was literally them versus Luton in the final of the Championship playoffs. That's what decided the last team to get promoted. So they could have been in the Premier League this season, based off of last season.
Like you said there, Jez, City versus United final again, more than likely.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Sadly, personally, I'd rather Coventry won it again myself. Can't see it happening. But yeah, I think it's going to be on that day. It's going to be City against United. It'd be a good game for neutral. To be fair, you know, as you know, I love the FA Cup. It's a big thing in my life. You know, I love the whole thing about it. And yeah, I just don't. Sorry, Fuzzy mate. I don't want United winning it. Brings them too close to the Arsenal. Brings them too close
Don't
to
worry.
the record, man.
Don't worry, just if big if United win it, the first person I'll come to check on is you.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you're doing okay. See if you're going to cope big all right.
I know
Thanks for the reassurance, Eddie. Nice one, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, as you can see from Yeti there, Arsenal won't be
I
winning
feel
it.
completely at ease now. I feel completely at ease now.
And obviously, yeah, I feel
Love it.
sorry for old Newcastle because they definitely won't be winning it. That's for sure. Yeah, smash that park there. Because Arteta is bigger fish to fry.
We'll see. Well, we'll
Should
see
be
about
interesting.
that. Mate. We'll see about that.
Well, it should be very interesting on that one, I must admit. Yeah, because I mean, looking at the Premier League yesterday, it was quite an interesting one. I mean, Fulham absolutely slapping the crap out of Spurs.
But they did it to us as well, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
You know, they've had a run of games that they're not expected to win, and the likes of, you know,
easy there,
William
Fuzzy.
and everything, they're all getting beaten up by them, aren't they? You know what I mean? Us included.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's
what was
true.
ours? 5-0,
Yeah,
5-1, 5-0, something like that.
5-0, I think it was.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
It was, wasn't it? And you know, I mean, they are actually like punching well above their weight at the moment, but they are doing it. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that they beat Tottenham either. You know,
it's very true. Very true. I mean, obviously, Burnley actually getting a result at Brentford as well.
that was a great result for them.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm happy for them because of what's his name, Company. I actually rate him. I think he's going to become a very good manager one day soon.
And obviously, you had Luton and Forest drawing 1-1.
Yeah.
Lucky Luton, wasn't it? Really, last 4 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Forest just can't get that win, can they?
No.
You know, I mean, I was watching that with the Yeti, you know, and did it against Liverpool, did it against Luton. It's very, very frustrating for them. Just can't seem to get it over the line right now, and you know they're in a fight down the bottom there at the moment, you know, and I know chatting with the Yeti as we do, it's concerning times really down there. We still haven't heard yet. I just wish they'd sort this nonsensical thing out.
Big up Moss.
We haven't yet heard about this points or whatever possible fine, deduction nonsense. Just sort it out, man. You know, don't leave it to the last 2 weeks of the season.
That's true.
Done. Just get it done. Sort it. If they're going to be fined or lose a few points, do it now. Then they know what they're up against.
Yeah, they got something to fight for then, haven't they?
Yeah, well, show some. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know, show some respect to the club and let them get it done. You know.
Yeah. I mean, if that had been like Man City or Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, any of the top 10 teams, that would have been done and dusted before like the ball had been kicked on game week 5. But because of these clubs are considered less important by the Premier League, etc., that's why they're getting treated the way they are. You know, I mean, Everton, they didn't have to wait as long.
No,
Okay, they're still waiting for the results of the second investigation, but you know, that's a second investigation. They already know they've lost points. Okay, they got some of them back, but nowhere near enough from their line of thinking. You know, so I mean, I think, you know, Forest are being hard done by because of their prestige or lack of.
no, I totally agree with you on that.
Well, come on. Sorry, go on, just.
Go on, mate. No, go on.
No, I was going to say I'm going to come on to the FFP because obviously there's going to be some changes coming in the summer, apparently, which we'll talk about in a minute. But if you go back to what you were just going to say, we'll come on to this comment, the usual suspect, Scott.
I just think it's a disgrace that, as Budgie said, you know, it seems to be at one level and the second level of how teams are dealt with. And I think that's a shocking thing about the Premier League and the FA. You know, if you're going to investigate a team, doesn't matter whether it's Arsenal, West Ham, Chelsea, Burnley, just deal with it on the same fair level playing field, because it, you know, right now Nottingham Forest are in a pretty dire position. And I'm sure Yeti would be able to comment on this, is the fact that their management must be sitting here thinking, well, we've got to get ourselves out of this, right? So therefore, we want to know what's going to happen. End of. Just deal with it. Don't leave it till, as I say, and don't leave it till next season. And if they are still in the Premier League, they end up with a minus point starting position, right? I think that's bullshit in itself. I'll be honest with you. Let's get it right. In that, I'm pretty certain if you invested any Premier League team, you'd find some dodgy deals and dodgy stuff going down. You know, Everton, they got caught out, right? Yeah, as Budgie said, they got some points back. Fair play by appeal. But if you're going to deal with it on a fair level playing field.
Yeah.
For all clubs.
Yeah. Treat Sutton United exactly the same as you would treat Man City, for example. Do you know what I mean? If it's going to be a rule, it's got to be a rule that, you know, a level, like you said, Jess, level playing field for everybody. Otherwise, where's the fairness? You know?
Yeah, it's none at all.
Yeah,
it's none at all in that respect, is it? When you look at that, but we'll come to that in a minute. I mean, obviously, just want to go on this comment. Did anyone see Sterling today? He stunk Stamford Bridge out. Apparently, his attitude was a bit off point. I don't know if anyone saw that game.
I didn't see it. I was out, I'm afraid.
No, I didn't see it. No.
There's a few things that was. I think all I heard was on the radio saying how bad he was and his attitude stunk. And when you look at it, it's like he feels like he's should be gifted all the time, which is your time's done.
Yeah.
Forest getting docked this week. It'll be interesting what's going to be coming out of that one. Evening, folks. Everyone's doing the assembled. Yeah, the funny part about it, I mean, I was looking at, so apparently the Premier League are looking to revamp this FFP, and it's going to be aligned with UEFA's squad cost rota rules. So they're going to align, you know, so again, we're bowing to another, football body, not our own, basically. But the worst part about it is it's still not going to affect Everton, Notts Forest, and even Man City. They're still going to be charged on the old system and not on this new system that's coming in. So what do you guys think of that?
Unfair, wrong, to be honest.
Is it though? I mean, if my point is, if they're starting a new set of rules with a new added, governing body involved, get all of their stuff done and dusted before the changeover, and then everybody's with a clean sheet. That's how I see it. I don't think they should carry on the investigation, but I think they should end it before the handover.
True.
That's my opinion.
I've got a question about it as well. It's like with the rules, each individual rule and how they're trying to determine the severity of punishment, why not with all the rules they are like transparent with so the fan bases and everybody can see what each and every single rule is, but per rule has a set fixed punishment. So each rule is tied to a specific severity of punishment. So if you break that rule, that's what the punishment's going to be. So that way it's not, yeah, but it's this bigger team. They broke all of those rules, but I'm not. We'll probably just give them a little slap on the wrist. Well, no, you can't do that because you see all the rules that they've broken, so you can amount what all of the punishment's going to be, and total it all together if they've broken multiple rules. If they've broken one rule, at least everybody knows exactly what's going to happen to that club, and no one can really have any complaints about it because it's all transparent. Everybody can see what's going to happen if you break that rule.
That.
So if you break it, then try to do better. Football club owners and whoever else is responsible. Try to do better.
But why do we have to kowtow to UEFA?
I know exactly. This is the thing.
Because they probably looked at it in reflection and thought, well, actually, yeah, our system is really, really flawed. But let's get someone else in. So any further, say, like criticism or anything like that, we can at least now we can share the blame with UEFA.
Yeah.
So it's not all on us.
Yeah. I mean, it's only going to be another couple of years before they start saying, "Oh, and now FIFA are saying."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then EA after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know, MLS are going to say something about it. Oh, mate, it'll just get worse and worse.
Well, what it's saying about here, it's saying that apparently the Premier League's controversial profitability and sustainability rules are set to be replaced as early as this summer by a new system of financial regulation. So what they're saying is these regulations will eventually limit clubs participating in European competitions that only spend 70% on revenue on transfer fees, players' wages, and so on.
Really? Okay.
So apparently the Premier League was looking at a model to enable clubs to spend up to 85%. But if we're going to fall in line with UEFA, then that's really going to limit the potential of our clubs in European competitions.
Yeah, cool. I'm just going to say this: if you're going to go to this level of 70% for, let's say, Man City, 70% for, let's say, Man United, 70% for West Ham, that's a big gulf.
Yeah.
That's a huge gulf in difference of revenue. Yeah. Even Arsenal earn a lot of money, but we don't get the same revenue in as Man City, or we haven't got the same level of revenue. Now, interesting point. If that's the fact, look at the level of revenue that Newcastle United have got. With their backing, they are the richest club in world football. With their, the backers they've got, that setup. So it's all nonsensical. I mean, I'm sorry, it has to be a better system than that to make it fair. Because if that's right, case in point, Nottingham Forest, if they get hammered for it, they've got nowhere near the same revenue stream as the likes of Arsenal or Man United, Man City, Chelsea. So it's all bullshit, man.
No, exactly. I mean, like there's two great comments here from Yeti. I mean, obviously the first one he's saying top clubs have bigger income from sponsors. It's a bullshit system. City can afford lawyers far better than obviously Forest can. And again, bigger stadiums, more money incoming, more backing. And that's the thing. But yeah, I mean, the fact that when apparently the Premier League turn and saying that it will provide certainty for clubs in relation to their future financial plans and ensure the Premier League is also able to retain its existing world-leading investment at all levels of the game. But again, it goes by what Yeti's saying there. It's not, is it really? Because, as you said, Arsenal or the likes of Man City and Man United, they're going to get more. I mean, like I think we talked about it last week, Jez. 495 million guys took last season.
Mm.
But the likes of West Ham, Forest, we probably only got half of that. So how's that kind of
I'll be back in one
balance?
moment.
All right, Budgie. So yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a fair system if that's the case.
I think it's a little rubbish team. I'd rather get rid of it. To be honest with you, get rid of it. It don't mean nothing. All these clubs are breaching. Do you know all the clubs that was breached was obviously the Man City, was Everton and Forest, right? And the other, right, 17 clubs were close to FFP. They were literally about to knock on the door, including Arsenal as well. But they managed to get away from it, right? Because of what what was coming into the club and basically what was coming out of the club as well. This is why we couldn't hardly sell any players. This was why we had to put our players out on loan because we couldn't sell them. So that was the only thing for us to do was send them out on loan to get the wage bill and the book straightened out. So with all this, the stadiums, the money, the revenue, the TV rights, everything and all this coming in, I just personally think is a little rubbish. I seriously, I do. I think it's obviously that the top teams are going to spend more money than the lower teams that's in the Premier League because they haven't got the revenue and that coming in. Hence, obviously, like what Yeti was saying, the capacity of their stadiums and all this and all that. That's happened all the way for the years of football. So with this FFP coming in, I think is absolute rule. This rule is absolute bollocks. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it because there's no financial fair play in it. I mean, if there's financial fair play in it, right? Why is teams being deducted points?
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
It is. So there's no point. I'd rather them scrap it and make it either they're going to scrap it, make up a new system, a new way, which is easier for these clubs that don't finish in the top half, so it helps them out a little bit. Or if not, just leave it. And they just got to carry on and do what they've got to do, like what they used to do years ago. That's all they've got to do.
The thing is, we've heard that the Champions League is going to be restructured. It's a Super League.
Yeah.
All it is, it's a Super League that UEFA have introduced. So all those fans that, when it 3 years ago was first talked about and were complaining and moaning and groaning about it, all that Champions League is doing, right, is making the fact sure that all the top teams are in it. If you look how it's going to be drawn, right? 4 pots, and you play 8 teams in blah 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 blah. It's a bloody Super League.
Yeah. Well, that's like, if you look at what the Assembled's saying here, it probably falls in line with what you're saying there, Jez. They need British clubs to fall in line with the rest of the European nations, else will the Super League take off. As you said, if we're supposed to be the better league, if they're bringing us down to their levels, yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't
it? Yeah.
They want to keep the top teams. The top teams, they're bringing more money.
Yeah, but then again, 90% of the bigger clubs in this country are run by people with massive amounts of money, aren't they? So, all they want to do is just keep filling up their coffers, American owners, Saudi owners, these mega rich people, clubs like, Fulham and us, and, we ain't got that kind of investment behind us.
No.
It's going to kill the game budget. The thing is, it's sad. It's a sad thing. And I was chatting about this the other day, last week, with Kenny Kent, right? Football used to be the common man's game, right? That's how it was. You go to a game, you have your pie, you have your pint, you have your fags and all that sort of stuff, right? Yeah. Now, you look at it now. Now, apparently for the Arsenal Bayern Munich home match, yes, Arsenal have made the statement they're releasing another 3,500 tickets for that, right? Now, because of the lottery system at Arsenal, the debate is, should it go to red level, silver level? It won't. It will go to corporate. And that is where I think it's an absolute bloody disgrace. Because people like Kenny Ken, who's a season ticket holder, has been for God knows how many sodding years, right? He's in the lottery system. That's not right.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
not right. When it used to be, as you guys remember, you used to get tokens. Do you remember the day when you had your match program and you had a token on the back of it, right? And you collect the tokens and you get your tickets for the away games and European games if you're in European games or the FA Cup, blah blah. That's how it worked.
In my day, I just used to turn up at the stadium and buy a ticket.
Well, yes,
it was so much easier. But back. I mean, you got to remember from 1986 onwards, I'd never went to any professional games other than Crawley Town. So, but before that, you used to just be able to turn up at the stadium. I mean, so many times I went on away days. Like Newcastle away. We turned up at the stadium without any tickets. There must have been 400 of us. We got through, all of us. There was a whole trainload of us. We went up there. It was ridiculous. And then, the next thing I heard was, oh, no, you have to get a certain amount of points to get your away tickets and stuff. And we're like, I didn't see that coming. That's all.
Of course.
It really did.
Jez, just kind of Happy Hammer is just kind of correcting you on the just a man's game there. It's
wow. It's sorry, mate. I have to say it's a rich man's game now.
Yeah, of course.
Rich
he's saying no more comments. I've burnt my sausage rolls, you pricks. Apologies, mate. Hope they're not too burnt.
Should have got your mate Greg to cook them.
Scrape the ash off Yeti, you'll be all right. I mean, you are a Yeti. You can eat any old shit. Let's be honest.
True. That's true.
So obviously, I was seeing they're talking about as we was talking about with Everton and obviously Man City, etc. It's saying here obviously Everton having their 10-point deducted to 6. Apparently. They've got another points deduction possibly that could be coming, and obviously Forest should know by April the 15th. I mean, again, all right, they might get the decision made then, but doesn't mean that necessarily they're going to implement that until next year, Jez, as you said, and that just takes an absolute piss take of the whole thing.
Just do it. Just do what they got to do, so the club know where they are. It's like putting you on a death sentence, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're hanging on, and then you suddenly get, well, that's your sentence. Yeah, you're going to do whatever you're going to do. Just get on with it, man.
Yeah.
Can't.
I mean, if they gave them let's talk about Forest for a moment. If they gave them, let's say, a 9-point deduction. Let's just use that because that's a nice number for me for what I'm about to say. So they give them a 9-point deduction, right? After a little appeal and that, they go, all right, well, it was 10, we'll let you have 9, right? So now, the worst happens for Notts Forest, they get relegated into the Championship. And the idea of, a Premier League team getting relegated into the Championship is for them to battle straight away and get either, instant promotion or the playoffs. That's their aim. Well, Nottingham Forest will be starting the season 3 games behind everybody, so their chances of going for automatic promotion are slimmer than me getting knighted by the king, and that it's such an unfair system in that respect. It's like if they're going to do it, they should say, right, okay, then we're going to take points away from you from your Premier League season. So you didn't get relegated on 31 points. You got relegated on, 22 points or whatever it is. You know what I mean? that's how the record book should see it. I think.
Yeah.
You know, after
Totally
that in the record book. So it's just ridiculous. I think it's such an unfair way of starting a season for anybody.
That's true.
Unless of course it's Tottenham.
Yeah, that's fine. They should be 10 points of the year anyway. In Tottenham.
So there's a question here, Jez, and I will fire this to Budgie as well, as you're the most, used to the season ones in the panel. You've seen a lot of changes in the game. Where, in your point of view, is the game headed?
In the dustbin, mate. Sorry.
It's not good, is it, Jez? Let's be fair.
Not the game that you and I grew up with, Budgie.
No. I mean, look, I know it sounds really weird, but back in the days of when, Man United and Chelsea and the likes of Liverpool and that were dominating certain competitions, not necessarily the league, but not, in Chelsea's thing, because they didn't really bother the league a lot back then. But, they were always a good side. They were always a side you fought hard against because there was absolute lunatics in defence. The likes of Dave Webb and the likes of, there's so many I could name, but, Billy Bremner for Leeds and mate, honestly, every week you went there, you just every time a player came off the pitch, and I think the first thing they did was said, thank Christ I can play again next week because I was up against Bremner this week or whatever. He could have quite easily have taken my ankle off.
Chopper Harris.
Sorry, go on.
Chopper Harris.
Yeah.
Chopper Harris.
Yeah, Norman Hunter, he was one of the worst, wasn't he?
Oh, mate,
and, there was so many of them, and they kind of faded out after the Vinnie Jones era, really, to be fair. There are still players we consider that we look at them and we go, oh, yeah, you wouldn't fuck about with him. But, all the same, there's too much protection against all of that now. And in my eyes, that softened the game up, which has allowed the nanny state in, basically,
Totally agree.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Budgie. I mean, obviously, Anthony and Fuzzy, fire it to you, the same question to you two. I mean, how do you see where the game is going?
Well, I just want to see Barcelona's just gone 1-0 up, by the way. I just feel it's so many rules. It's changing the rules of this, changing the rules of that. I mean, look at this. For instance, when they were going to bring out the blue cards. I mean, do you know what I mean? I mean, what a stupid idea that is. And in my opinion, they're ruining the lovely game that we call football. Don't change the rules. Don't keep changing the rules. Keep it basic. Keep it simple. Yeah, and that is it. I mean, it is pointless making up all these rules, changing all these offside opinions of these offside rules. Players can't do this on pitches anymore, and that. No, sort of. When you read it, it just frustrates you. Basically, it's just like they can't write when they said defenders. What was it? They weren't allowed to defend how they were years ago. They had to put their hands behind their backs, like, do you know what I mean, and let the attacking players. You couldn't touch them or anything like this and that. I just feel like you've got. Just leave it. Just leave it. I think it's sad enough now. It's sad enough now. It's like I'm watching this game. It's sad enough now watching players that are not even getting tackled and they fall down on the pitch and they're rolling over. I mean, what's that all about? I mean, we've seen it today. No disrespect, Fuzzy. Fernandez. He went down. He went down way too. Quick. It wasn't a foul, and he got a booking for it, which is fair enough. But, I just feel like, just stop changing all these rules now. Just leave it. Let's enjoy a game of football and a football game that we like to see. That's all I'm going to say on it. The rules are rubbish.
It's laws. It's called the laws.
All right, the laws. The laws of football, right? Sorry, Jez, it's the laws, yeah. Stop changing the laws of football now. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Would you make it fuzzy?
Same as what this gentleman over here said. Into the dustbin. Into the dustbin. I'll rephrase it. Into the shitter.
Yeah.
Basically, long story short, it's
Come on, you've got to put that picture behind you now.
Yeah.
Come
yeah.
on.
All right. It's going.
Yeah, come on,
the-
into the shit.
This game
There it
is
is.
straight in there, and a big solid flush afterwards. Probably have to do 2 flushes just to flush down all of the crap that is this the modern day game and where it's all going. I'm all for innovation in football and trying new things and changing 1 or 2 things about the game as part of going with the times, but
Yeah.
it's got to be all well within reason. It's got to make sense. It's got to be. If you want to bring around change in football, first and foremost,
Evening, Osman.
the first people you've got to really go to
Evening, Pepsi.
is the fans of the game. If football belonged to the fans, the lawmakers would be very centric in terms of ideas in the game being around what fan opinion is. If fans want the game to just be completely the same, they don't want to push for change or anything. Go with what they say. It's like with the introduction of VAR. They brought it around because fans were just like, "Oh, the referees need help." They see VAR's not working, and now there's more people saying get rid of it than there is people saying keep it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you are still,
I mean,
fans,
if they want to use technology in the game, why not? Why not this? They can do electronic beams across the pitch, right? I'm just thinking about like the offside rule for a moment.
Yeah.
They can do that, and they could also put microchips in every player's boots.
Yeah.
So whoever's microchip has activated that beam, that's who is the last player. Not arms, not fucking toenails.
Totally agree.
That boot. That's what it should be. That should be the offside. If you're 1 foot, that would be it, wouldn't it? Your boot, or even half a foot. That's offside. Or even if they put it right on the fucking toe, which they couldn't because it would get damaged. But
That's
what I mean,
true.
or inside one of the first studs or something.
Yeah, they could put
If
it
they want to use technology, they should be thinking about stuff like that, not relying on a group of idiots in a room with, monitors and no idea about, because the camera angles ain't right and this and that, and it's just ridiculous. Oh yeah, we'll say it's offside because his shoulder looks further on than his shoulder does, and all that nonsense. No bollocks.
No,
mate.
that's true. That's true. I
It
mean,
used to
obviously,
be easy, didn't it? When I refereed, it was a very simple law.
That's a good point.
It was so easy, right? If you were interfering with play, right, and if you were in front of the last man, you were offside.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
That's it. It's easy.
yeah.
Not now. When you got your finger.
Mama Flossie came up with a point a little ago. Big up, Mama Flossie, by the way.
This
He
one?
said about that one. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
If Leicester come up, they're going to face a points deduction because FFP before they went down.
Nonsense.
So it is nonsense. Where's the punishment gone then? What is it? Just on standby in case they do get back up?
Well, to follow up on that, Budgie, I mean, when you look at it, the fact of obviously like Everton's had their thing, reduced. We now know the date for Forest. Yet in January, Man City was told that their case is coming up, but no date's been announced on their 115 charges. Work that one out.
Oh, it's 115, is it?
115.
I thought it was 109, but
alleged 115, shall we say?
Wow.
We have to throw that word in, alleged.
Alleged.
But they get offered that thing. They get offered it because they get all the lawyers in and all that. They get the top lawyers in.
That's probably why there's no
They
date
pay
set,
them off,
because the lawyers are
and they do
tying
not-
it all up in red tape.
Yeah.
And they don't, and nothing will come out of it. So they'll be fine, Man City, even though we think and they deserve,
Yeah.
FFP points deduction or trophies taken off of them, or maybe relegated from the bloody Premier League down to the Championship, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It won't happen. It just won't happen because they've got the money to get the bring in the right lawyers. That's simple.
Yeah. I mean, like another thing that comes to mind is with this FFP, this, that, and the other. They're not saying, like, you're on a transfer embargo for 6 months then, or 8 months, or a year, or whatever. You've got a 2-window embargo on transfers. You can't do any transfers in or out. That's your lot. You've got your squad. You've got to stick with it. They're not doing that, which is another way of teaching clubs to spend money a bit more wisely, by not allowing them to spend it on players. So Haaland all of a sudden says that he wants to leave City, and let's just say Everton survive, and they've got the money to do it. They can go and get Haaland, even though they've just been, given a point deduction, etc. They can go and spend £150 million or plus on Haaland if they've got the money to do it. And that, all they're doing is just breaking the rules again. I'm not saying they could or would do that, but I'm just giving you an out there example. So they should be implementing transfer bans as well, I think.
Chelsea, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they did, and that's what made me think of it.
I mean, like as Yeti said here, I mean, it's a simple game. Stop screwing with it based on your incompetence to understand it, because that's what they're trying to do, basically. It's what they can think of next. I mean, obviously, we'll go back to Sharky's comment. I mean, obviously, it's a good question. I mean, what do you think is the best change in football? The back pass rule? Perhaps?
I like the back pass rule. I think it's exceptional. I think it's brilliant. And I also liked the rule when they said that keepers were only allowed to hold the ball for 6 seconds, was it?
6 seconds,
6 seconds. And that, I like that. Not seen very many whistles being blown at keepers since, but it does make the game flow a little better and so on and so forth. So, because there is always that doubt that, you might get blown up for it. But I think, but they're all kind of goalkeeper-based rules, aren't they? Laws.
Yeah.
They stopped the one. Do you remember the goalkeepers when they caught the ball and they used to bounce the ball and dribble it out? They stopped that one because you couldn't bounce it more than 3 times.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, the fine team that years ago was Liverpool. But Bruce Gobbler used to do that in goal. It was all passed around, and it was passed back to him. You pick it up, you bounce the ball, and this and that. And the game, it wasn't moving. It wasn't going anywhere because Bruce Gobbler was holding up the game all the time. And this carried on for years. And you've seen it. You've seen it even when you watched the telly years ago. What did it used to be called on ITV? It was called The Match, wasn't it?
The Match, yeah.
And
big
exactly.
Match.
So
That's it. The big match, yeah.
The big and then that's what he used to do all the time for years. It always done that, and I always found it boring, like and that. And I'm glad he changed that pass back rule to just keep the game in continuous flow. That's what that's the reason why he done it, which is fair enough by me.
Yeah.
I remember when that law was when I was refereeing then, and I remember when that law was introduced, and it was chaotic. It was pre-season friendlies. I was refereeing pre-season friendlies and shit, and you had an instruction from the FA to say in the friendly, pre-season friendlies, whatever, you have to give them tolerance for it in 3 games to allow keepers and defenders or midfielders to get used to the the new back pass law. Mate, it was chaos. Seriously. I'm not being funny. A lot of thick people playing football, and it's a friendly game, right? It happened, and the keeper would pick the ball up, and you'd go, mate, that's an indirect free kick now in the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that mean then? Well, it's an indirect free kick, right? And it was just jokes. And it took probably, I would say, 3 months at the amateur level to get that into goalkeepers and defenders' heads.
Yeah.
So you can't do that, you know. And when league football restarted as proper amateur level, we were told they've had their chances. Now it's a yellow card on
Yeah.
the second offence of doing it, and it was so stupid that you'd take right. That's your second offence, goalkeeper. It's now an indirect free kick, yellow card for that, and then you suddenly see 11 blokes on the goal line. You know what I mean? It was like, what is going on here? Seriously, you know.
What was the other one, Jez? What was the other ones that the referees used to do? You see it on games as well. When it was what they used to call a drop ball, and you had two players there, and you had to let the ball hit the ground. Then you was allowed to kick it, weren't you?
And quite often they kick each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they've changed that over now to what I believe is where they do the drop ball in front of the team that were in possession when the whistle was blown, I think.
It's all that now.
And you have to pass it back to, I have to pass it to one of the other team as a gesture of goodwill, basically.
Yeah.
That's what the rule is now. And to be fair, I think that's probably one of the better rules that has been implemented, if I'm honest.
Well, it used to be.
You don't see like the kicking in the shins like you used to back then. You know, I mean, I remember Peter Lorimer, and I think it was Ian Hutchinson at Chelsea. I think them two at Chelsea and Leeds, and there was a drop ball, and them two were. I'm pretty sure it was the 1970 FA Cup final replay, if I'm honest. And them two were fucking hacking at each other's feet. The ball was just still ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, no, that rule had to be changed because otherwise they would have had to have started, you know, giving cards to both of the players, and it was ridiculous.
I was doing a. It was a FA Cup preliminary round. It was Hastings Town against Dartford, right? And drop ball on the edge, on the right between the pit. Is it basically middle of the pitch, right? And I said, right, drop ball, boys, yeah. And I dropped the ball. They both missed it. The one player from Hastings kicked this bloke from Dartford and broke his ankle. Broke his solid ankle. And he just went in like 100 miles an hour. Bang! And you heard the crack like a gunshot. The guy's gone down. And we had to abandon the game. And it's like, what the fuck? The law was you drop the ball as a referee from shoulder height. Yeah?
Yeah.
And if it was a shit crap pitch, as a lot of them were, in like January, yeah, quite often the ball would just go. It would bounce anyway.
Yeah.
So they'd go in to kick the ball, because it had gone. They just whack each other, and this bloke broke his ankle. And I was like, oh dear God.
That's actually quite an awkward rule to implement, really, isn't it? You know, when you got like one referee one week who's 5'2", and then the next guy next week 7'3". You know, I mean, shoulder height's a bit different.
Yeah, it's stupid.
We used to have a referee locally round here. He was like 7'1" or something. Nobody ever argued with him. Nobody. And I back chatted him once, and he turned around and said to me, he goes, "Look, don't piss me off, mate. I'll fuck you up in the bar." And I was like, "What?"
Was that in Crawley?
Yeah.
Was that Colin Simmons?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
God, you know him straight away.
Yeah,
No, I'm not being shortest happy. I'm just saying that there's a massive difference in shoulder height. Somebody who's 5'2" or 5'1.8" or whatever it is, and someone who's 7'2". You know, there's a massive difference.
Yeah, true. It is
Mhm.
it's a nonsense law because I
Yeah.
used to cheat a bit. I won't lie. Before I've just quickly teach you. If it was like I thought it should have gone in favour of this guy, and you don't know who's going to get it. I used to sort of
Yeah,
bounce.
drop it nearer his foot.
I used to drop it there, right near his feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, we used to have refs do that all the time around here. Sometimes we used to have refs come into the changing rooms beforehand. And you go, right, that lot you're playing against, they're a dirty load of fuckers. Watch out for them. Blah blah blah. And they would give us the whole rundown on the team that we were playing. You know, oh, you got to watch out for that number 7. He's real quick and all of that. And yeah, mate, we used to get team tactics given to us from the refs. It was brilliant.
Remember the old Crawley grounds up by the hospital, Budgie?
Yeah, of course I do. Town made, yeah.
Yeah, I've ref there loads of times.
Did you? Yeah. Cool.
Was that a knock at Manuel Lanzini, Budgie?
No, not at all. I love Manuel, mate. Lanzini's one of my favourite players.
Talk before coming in here. Well, I remember a league I was in one time, and the manager's son, he was just one of those wind-up merchants, getting on top of people all the time and that. So this particular team they played, they thought they'll have a go at him in the showers afterwards.
No, right.
And then the manager came running in, and he basically attacked this player with his pen, stabbed him in the back about 3 times. Yeah.
A penny's mightier than the sword.
Definitely on that one.
Brilliant.
As you can guess, indefinite ban.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suppose we've all got good stories about football.
I would say the writing was on the wall for him, but clearly it was on the other fella's back.
Unless he's doing dot to dot, I don't know. But geez, yeah, I mean, that was just a mad one in itself in that respect.
What was it? One of his own players?
No, he's the opposition player.
Oh,
so because his son, the manager's son played for him. Obviously, played for his dad.
Oh, right.
He was basically taking the piss, and they decided that they was going to have a make sure they're going to actually kind of give him a couple of digs in the shower while they had the opportunity. And it all started kicking off in the showers, and next minute the old man heard the commotion, came running in, and then literally stabbing this bloke in the back with his pen.
Wow.
Flipping hell.
That's cyanide time, life ban.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the person's got to work the next day, but hey, it's one of those, isn't it? Welcome to Bar Gavi. Say, interesting stories. Broken ankle over indirect free kick is insane. Yeah.
Drop ball.
Drop ball.
Yeah. That's absolutely true, though, mate. You know, all of that used to happen all the time in professional, in amateur games, and everywhere.
Did they give a pen or tea? Yeah, definitely in the shower, that's for sure. But yeah. Funny, we're saying about Barcelona. Did you see about old Dani Alves? He's apparently been taken off the Legends website for Barcelona.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because
I know the Barcelona manager got sent off tonight.
He's got sent off tonight, has he?
Yeah, he got sent off tonight. The Barcelona manager, and he's the number 2 now. He's dealing with it on the touchline.
Shit. But no, apparently
Danny got carded today.
Well, I'm not surprised, Budgie, after those decisions and that. I mean, blimey.
I know. It was hilarious watching it. When he got the card, he just looked at me and went, all right. You know what I mean? And I said to Happy Amaret, I said to her, I love that. Or was it? It might have been her auntie, I said to. That shows me that he cares. Oh, no. When was that, Yeti? God.
We have to keep reminding Anthony all the time, Budge, unfortunately.
Yeah.
His memory.
Wait,
memory's...
what? Cooper's been sacked.
He's
Unbelievable.
been sacked.
Nobody told me.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, mate, he had the best eyes in football, that man.
Go on, off.
Looked absolutely cooked 24/7.
Cooked. I love that phrase. Oh, fucking hell.
Cooked, baked, the whole lot.
The whole shebang.
Yeah, mate.
So he spent a Bender weekend with Walter White before he gets to the match day.
Done an interview with Snoop Dogg or something.
Mate.
Bloody
Yeah, but no, Danny Elvis obviously apparently he's got 4.5 years for sexual assault. And
Oh.
so because of that, basically, I think he got charged in February. So he's actually kind of, I think he's either serving his time now, but Barcelona decided to take him off the website altogether, kind of thing. One of their legends.
Well, if that's the case, I don't blame them.
Quite right.
Yeah, that's the
No
best
excuse for that.
solution. Unfortunately, you know, that is now going to mar him for the rest of his life.
Yep.
You know, and he had such a good career, didn't he, Danny Elvis? Great player. Loved watching him. But sadly, you know, his private life has caught up with him, and it does to many of us.
Yep.
Thing is, these players, some of these players just think they're something special. And they think they're going to. We've seen it in English football, didn't we? You know, stupidity that you just think, why? You know, you've got such a great career. You're earning such fantastic money, lives, got everything you could ever ask for. And you do something absolutely stupid like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've got no sympathy for people like that. You know, you've achieved greatness in your life. You are the height. You are the height. You know, it's only the top 1% that make it to a professional football level. You've got it all. You've got the house, you've got the wife, you've got the cars, you've got the money, you've got everything. And you do something as stupid as that, as sexual assault to a woman. I mean, I just, the whole thing.
I think the true epitome for me of a professional footballer, and I know, you know, probably a lot of people are going to raise their eyebrows and go, oh, for God's sake, back in the day. But Bobby Moore was the true epitome of a professional. You know, even when he got accused of stealing that watch in Italy, wasn't it? Somewhere? He got, France, in Paris, I think it was. He got accused of stealing the watch. It wasn't him. It never did happen. It was done as a bloody publicity thing. And
wasn't it Brazil? World Cup final, 1970.
Something like that. Oh, I can't remember now.
He got arrested in Brazil, didn't he?
For
stealing something, and it was a load of bullshit. And
yeah, it was all a load of bollocks. But, you know, like even after all that happened to him, you know, he was still the staunch, upright man that he always was. You know, he was absolutely, you know, he believed that his appearance reflected on the club and stuff like that. You know, I mean, we're talking about in the days when, as you said earlier, Jez, you drop the ball on the pitch and it would just stay there because they were just like marshland. That's what it was like, even the professional game, you know. And, you know, you'd see Bobby Moore doing his last ditch, you know, tackles and stuff. But, mate, other from his shorts up, he was always, you know, in tip top, you know, sort of like, he was just immaculate. From the waist down, he was, unfortunately, you know, you can't help it, you know, when you're sort of going into tackles and stuff. But, you know, I mean, like, the guy was just so professional, you know. And there have been a few, you know, really good professionals, even leading up to the modern day. And I include David Beckham in that list because I think he was a true professional. He is a true professional, you know. But then the other side of the scale, when you got like Eric Cantona doing Bruce Lee shit at Wimbledon, I mean, that wasn't a good look.
That's Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Yeah,
Crystal Palace. Yeah, not Wimbledon. I knew it was one of them pretend London clubs.
Right kick. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like professionals, there should be a lot more of them, you know. A lot more of them these days, and a lot of them ain't professional. Like you said earlier about diving and rolling around, screaming, and then getting up and winking at your mates and all that sort of bollocks. I mean, that's not professional.
No, not at all.
That's villainy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I heard it today as well. Yeah, Steve Harley, the Cockney Rebel, was passed.
Oh, really?
That's why he was playing a few of his tunes in the Carpenters. See, alcohol and memory don't go well together. They're not the best of friends.
Yeah, Bargav here saying Giggs was probably the worst. Being a professional, yeah.
He was a naughty boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, mate.
Yeah. But it must be a Man United theme, because obviously your youngster, Fozzie.
Greenwood. It was Greenwood initially, then there was Anthony as well.
Yes.
Fuck off, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, but I don't know, Anthony, every time you look over your shoulder, make sure your missus is not there. So, we've got to raise questions on that.
That's the fidget spinner one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you look at there's Greenwood and that. I mean, there was talks about it on TalkSport today, or Talk Shite, whatever you want to call it, saying about would he be coming back to Man U?
Nope. Nah. No place at Man United anymore. He's sort of made it inroads for his career in La Liga, and I think that's probably where he's going to go back to. Supposedly, as far as transfer speculation goes, potentially close to agreements for a fixed fee in the summer back to a La Liga club, about 30 or 40 million, they reckon. So, yeah, I think it's just the case, let him go.
Until a Saudi club comes in and says, I will give you 100 million for him.
Yeah, that was a bit of an odd one, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair, Saudi would be one place he could go and still hold his head high. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think his story would really necessarily follow him over there.
No.
Much.
I mean, obviously, he's made a great comment about players, as you say, like, become big bog, if I can say the word, Billy Big Bollocks, once they've got a bit of money behind them. They think they can do what they like.
Yeah.
Good question from the assembled. Was Greenwood found guilty? I don't think he was. Was it as all these charges were dropped?
Yeah, his charges were
what
dropped.
he said, yeah.
And he got back with the woman. It was his girlfriend that put the charges against him, and they got back together. So
now they're parents as well as married, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greenwood's a Barca.
Yeah, I think that's the club that they were talking about with the fixed fee in La Liga.
Wow. Barca are desperate then.
Well, yeah, I agree with this one. I agree with this. Mrs. dropped charges after Greenwood paid his dad no debt, and I think that's probably was the case. They were paid off.
Yeah.
I think, it seems strange because when you think you saw photographic evidence with her with a bleeding mouth and stuff like that, and then suddenly, before you know it, they dropped all charges.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah, very true, Jez. Very true. There's no two ways about that kind of thing. And as we're getting near to the end, just on a lighter note, I read something the other day. It was quite funny, actually. I mean, obviously, most people like going away. But how would you feel confident with the two pilots that actually fall asleep on the plane while they're flying it at the same time? Basically, a Batik Air, this is in Thailand. Apparently, the pilot was feeling a little bit tired. So asked his second in command, will he kind of keep an eye on the plane while he has a little nap? And he did exactly the same. By the time they woke up, they was miles off course. So quite a confident thing to have.
I think if it was it a passenger airline or something?
Yes, it was a passenger airline. That was the best part about it. Yeah.
You would have thought that they would have set autopilot courses for coordinates then, because they must have been at a safe enough altitude to doze off. So surely the autopilot, they log the autopilot coordinates before they fly. So
Should
if they've ended up that far up course, then it's probably not done their setup work.
Well,
quite
apparently
correctly.
they were. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they did because I say there was at roughly 35,000 feet, so it was safe in that
Yeah.
respect. But yeah, sounds like a right at one towers is true. Very true.
That one would go straight into the ground.
Like these 70, innit? They're just complete the Malaysian Airlines. They're like,
Yes.
they've completely disappeared.
Yeah.
They'd turned the transponders off. And like, why would you turn the transponders off on a commercial airline? It's just doesn't add up.
No,
You know? That's a bit weird, that one.
not good at all. Not good at all in that. And if the autopilot was on like the one on the film Airplane, they would wake up.
Lord.
That's true.
The blow up autopilot.
Classic, that was a classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I picked a bad week to give up amphetamines. That
Yeah.
was one of the lines in the film, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hairs all everywhere like that. Lloyd Bridges. Brilliant.
It's everyone queuing up to take turns to soothe the panicked passenger.
Yeah.
Weapons of mass destruction.
It's a
Got
classic
to be
film.
one
I've
of
seen
the best films.
I've seen that film so many times, but I still love
Right.
it. It's so funny.
Well, it's like when they did Airplane 2 and they'll show you a poster of the old boy with the gloves on. Was it Rocky 35 kind of thing as an old man still doing the fights?
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
Brilliant.
The bloke from Star Trek's on that, isn't it?
William Shatner, yes.
William Shatner, yeah.
When they do the door, it's like the door up, he goes, shh.
Yes.
It's like, and he's looking in the glass, and he like that, right? Door, and you can see his face, and he goes, shh, and he walks through. So funny, so funny.
You can't beat them kind of type of films anyway. So
No, you can't. No.
all right, so as we're coming to the end of that, Anthony, if you'd like to shake yourself out.
Yeah, I'm not going to check my socials because there's things on there. Yeah, you can find me on Early Doors TV on here on the Sunday night takeaway. Also, you can find me on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with me, Tone, and the Fudmeister up here. Yeah, and that's it.
Matey, matey. And Budgie, because you follow us on a Wednesday after in the evening time. You'd like to shake yourself out, please, mate.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you can find me on West Ham Network on a Wednesday evening, as Tony rightly said, after the Good, the Bad and the Ugly, with the Old School Hammer Show with myself and Kieran Devaney, the Wizard of Oz, as I like to call him, Bert and Ernie. And and I've just done a recording, I say just a few days back, done a recording with a friend of the channel, Wolfie. And that'll be coming out as a premiere in the next couple of days or so. I've just got to talk to Simon about it and find out when's convenient to do it. And that's the thing called Who Are Ya? And
Right.
it's an invite to everybody on the panel and in the chat if you want to come on and tell me who you are, who you support, why, when, where, everything. Then come and talk to me.
Brilliant.
And that's Green Street Elite. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate. And that sounds like it's going to be a good show for you as well.
Yeah, well,
I
that
look
one
forward
don't
to that
sound like a bloody good one, does it?
I don't know. Start your new channel soon, Anthony. Up the arse.
Oh, yeah, no, no, that's Yeti being a prick.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah, thanks,
Big
mate.
up
Thanks
to
for
him.
the comment. Thanks, Endon Guna. Jez, if you'd like to shake yourself out, please, mate.
Yeah, Arsenal history more, all about the Arsenal. And I'm going to be, as we got this boring international break, I'm going to be doing some Arsenal history stuff that I love doing. I'm going to be doing one with Lee and Kenny about the 89 season and in comparison to the great 91 team as well. Couple of different shows, and that will be all good fun. And yeah, and then I'm looking to do something a little bit different, get some different fans on to talk about their experiences with their football club. So I'm going to be getting in contact with all you boys. Budgie, I'm going to be getting in contact with you.
It'll be a pleasure.
And Fuzzy, I'm going to get in contact with you. And also, Tony, I'll be getting in contact with you. I'm going to do a show which we're going to talk about the infamous 1980 Cup final. We're going to do a show about that. And that would be...
We watch it again.
Yeah, nightmare. You know what I mean? But, yeah, so different stuff coming up in the next month or so.
Sounds good. Oh, I mean, remember this comment? It was a Sunday afternoon. Take care and let's be careful.
Out there.
Old Pill.
Hill Street Blues.
Yes. And apparently, Jez, you've got another show coming up where you shows how to apply Mr. Sheen to his head.
I will be tomorrow. I'm cutting all my hair again tomorrow. So I'm going to be polishing up. That bloke is a fucking nightmare. Sorry.
Tell me about it. It's always when me and Jez is on a show. He gives a shit.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Utterly giant.
Anyway, I
he
just
is.
want to say one more thing, right? And this ain't the Yeti joke and all that. I just want to say, so happy birthday for yesterday. What was it? Somebody told me was it 64 yesterday?
64. Doing well for 64, mate.
Not bad, mate, is it? It's not bad at all in that. Not bad at all in that. Yeah, you know the comment you got back anyway from that message yesterday, Anthony.
Yeah. Called me a right wanker.
It was your birthday then?
It was yesterday, mate, yeah.
Oh, my apologies. Belated happy birthday.
You're most welcome, mate. Thank you very much indeed.
How about we all sing him happy birthday before we go off the air?
21 again, mate.
You don't want to hear me sing. You don't want to hear me sing. It's like a Wolverine being attacked by a lion, mate. I swear to God.
Yeah, it'd be like,
Listening to a banshee scream.
Budgie will be singing, "We're forever blowing bubbles."
Yeah.
Right everywhere.
Oh, they fly so high.
I was singing it in the stadium today, guys, I tell you.
Thanks, Shea. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you, matey.
You'll find that West Ham fan with the violin.
It's the violin.
End up breaking it at the end. It's just like his.
Better than the dickhead that goes to Crawley with a drum. Honestly, my fucking windows shake when he starts hitting that bugger. Honestly, I'm about 200 yards away from the stadium, and I can hear it through me double glazing. It's really getting on my nerves. You know, I thought, yeah, I'll move near the stadium. It'd be great. You know what I mean? Can't find anywhere to park on game day. Can't find any space at the bar in the pub because it's the official away game at the away team pub. So yeah, I've moved to the wrong area, really.
Well, I remember when I used to do semi-pro myself and that, we used to play Hornchurch, and these two old bastards right by the fucking dugout for continual 90 minutes just kept shouting out, "Come on, Hornchurch, come on, Hornchurch." It's like the two blokes from the Muppets. And they were there for 90 minutes right next to the dugout. Continually.
Waldorf and Stadler.
Oh, yes. Oh, mate, what a pain in the arse.
They were brilliant.
Fuzzy, would you like to shout yourself out, please, mate? Especially as you know, great result for your boys today.
Oh yeah, won't repeat the song because I'm sure everybody's ears were bleeding after the first time we did that. But yeah, you can find me HotVoice44 OG on YouTube and on Instagram. Still got to do my match reaction for that game, so I'll probably squeeze that in tonight before I go off to bed. Got got then tomorrow as well. I believe would be on Anfield at Uncle Rod's for I think probably a delve back into the game a little bit. So that'll be interesting. Then, of course, nothing else really planned up until Wednesday, which is episode 10 of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly show. We're already on episode 10, man. Time flies. Yeah. Time is flying too quick. It's like the Sunday Night Takeover show is already on episode 11. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly is on episode 10. It's all going by really, really quick. But, time flies when you're having fun. And, there's none better to have fun with than not just the people on the screen right here with us today, but also plenty of the people in the chat as well. Some who are here and some who aren't, but it's all good fun. Check out Fuzzy's show, McTommy World-Class Professional. I mean, the one where we're down some, Milky Bar stuff. I don't think you can see that. It's white chocolate.
Yum.
It's that's what Scott McTominay is. And do you know what? He scored a goal today, and I think he set up for another one as well. So
Fast become top scorer.
Who's that young player who plays for Liverpool? The one with the blonde hair.
Harvey Elliott.
Is it the one with the blonde hair? A bit curly.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott.
Do you know what? I was switching through shoes today, like obviously for the game and that. So I was watching the stuff. Do you know what everybody was calling him?
What?
They were calling him. He's got a head like a pot noodle, like the actual noodle. That was what they were calling him.
Like a pot noodle.
And I was like,
3-0, by the way.
Is it?
3-0 Barca. Wow.
Yeah, they just scored.
Superb. And as Yitty's saying here, like and sub to all these legends on the panel, and don't forget, obviously, Long-Haired Yitty's Cave as well. For those that are still hanging around, don't forget that gentleman's channel as well, and obviously the Bowling Lounge as well. So make sure of that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Chappie got sent off in the game as well.
Oof. So obviously, episode 11 coming to an end. Obviously, as you said, Wednesday, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And did my first one last week of Spotlight in the studio and that was with Mr. B. For those who haven't seen it, get the opportunity to go and have a look at that. You will see Anthony's twin on the actual thumbnail. He's actually shaved off the goatee today, which is a bit of a shame because it did suit you, Anthony.
Yeah. That he enjoyed that. He was doing the game, the watch along as well. Obviously on the main night agenda. So
thanks, Mama.
I messaged him in the comments as well. So big up to my twin. He was just laughing his head off.
Superb. So other than that, we've come to an end. It's an hour and 22. So panel, thanks again for being on the show. It's been much appreciated. And obviously, people in the chat as always, great people. So thanks, guys. And obviously, as always, Jeff saying thanks, chat. Have a good evening. Jeff saying thanks for the shout out. And on that note, we're out. Take care, all.
Happy birthday.
Sing it for you.